Hi, this is Dan Stewart, and this is your NORAM Asset Management Market Update, Tuesday, October 5th, 2010. Well, we've been calling it all along. We've said it for 2 years, that eventually it's going to be a race to zero. Who can devalue their currency and go to zero interest rates the fastest? Well, it looks like Japan got the blue ribbon and came in first. They announced today, early morning, with a little bit of a surprise, that they are taking interest rates down to zero, and that they were going to buy all kinds of different assets, from real estate to bonds, the whole gamut. And the Japanese market was up 1.5%. That gave a big impetus to the American stock market as well. A lot of people will tell you it's because of the ISM or the industrial manufacturing numbers, but it really is because of Japan, and now Bernanke is going to follow suit pretty soon. Because Europe is talking about a stimulus too, and the race is on. Who's going to be second and third? The Dow was up 193 points to 10,944. The S&P was up 23 to 1160, and the NASDAQ, the big winner of the day, was up 55 points to 23.99. Copper was up 6 cents to $3.72. Oil was up $1.21 to $82.68. Gold was up $24.40 to $13.39. Silver, the biggest winner of the day, was up 85 cents or almost 4% to $22.86. Sure is good to be long silver. The volume was also above its 30-day moving average. The volume on the big board was 4.9 billion. The 30-day moving average is right around 3.9 billion. So it was a significant increase. On the NASDAQ, it was 2.1 billion with the 30-day moving average around 1.9 billion. The yields on 5- and 10-year treasuries were down, and therefore prices were up. However, on the 30-year treasuries, yields were up, and therefore prices down. People might be getting a little bit worried about inflation, and they may be moving to shorter bonds. The US dollar was down against all major currencies, the pound, the yen, and the dollar. Over in Europe, it was up across the board, with the Euro Stoxx 50 up a little over 2%, and all the countries in Europe were up between 1 to 2.5%, with Great Britain up 1.5% and Spain around 2.5%. Asia was mostly up marginally, with the exception of Australia and India, which were down 1/3%, and Taiwan down 0.5%. But again, the big story in Asia, and across the globe for that matter, was Japan with its multi-billion-dollar bailout. Japan was up 1.5%. Once again, the race is on. Interest rates to zero, and who can devalue their currency next. It sounds good and it makes you feel good that the stock market had a nice big pop. But if your $50,000 goes to $100,000 in 5 years, but now your $100,000 only buys $25,000 worth of stuff, did you make money? It's food for thought, because these countries are doing the absolute wrong thing. They're going to crush their currencies. Start looking to move away from bonds and start looking for commodities and metals. That is one reason gold and silver have been on this tear lately. It's not a coincidence. It's just good economic sense. This has been Dan Stewart for your NORAM Asset Management Market Update, Tuesday, October 5th, 2010.